Hello and welcome to Expats Everywhere. If you could tell us your name, where you're from, and a little about yourself.
Yeah, my name is David Vellon. I'm from Miami, Florida. I've been an ESL teacher for about 5 years. I taught in the States for a few years, in Korea, and recently Saudi Arabia.
Very cool. What was it like working in Korea?
Oh, it was a great experience. I just taught 1 year there. It was my first year teaching abroad, actually, and I felt like it was a good place to get your feet wet. They kind of streamlined everything for you as far as setting up your apartment, getting your visa, a lot of things. They're just holding your hand the whole way, and that can make it a lot easier than just showing up somewhere and having to do all those things yourself. So, yeah, overall, a very positive experience.
Good. Yeah, it's very true. They do make it quite easy to transition into. So, what kind of jobs are available in Korea?
For expats, primarily, the main jobs are going to be teaching English as a second language. Aside from that, there's private lessons, which would be, just something you'd have to arrange yourself. And then more, rarely, I think some people do some jobs like English editing, maybe for, advertisement companies that need someone to look at something in their English and then, fix the grammatical mistakes in it. But that's, going to be less common than the main thing, which is ESL.
Okay. Do you happen to know what the going rate is for private instructors?
It varies by the area. For example, someone in Seoul might be getting, let's say, around $20 US, and then that could vary depending on where you're at. So I didn't do much private myself, but I think around $20 would be a good starting rate.
Okay. Well, so what did a typical day look like for you at your job?
Yeah, so I taught at a Hagwon, which is like a private academy, and many Koreans enroll their children in these so that they can get supplementary help after school. And basically, my work day was from about 9 to 2. I had my main kindergarten class. Then I had about a 3-hour break, which is can be difficult sometimes. And then my next class was from 5 to 7, and that was about middle-aged students. Let's say about grade 6.
And how much did you earn there? How much can you expect to earn at a job like this?
Yeah, at most Hagwons, the starting salary is going to be about, let's say, $2,000 US, and that can go up depending on how much experience you have. If you're working for a university, it could be maybe closer to $3,000. But those are the jobs that are harder to get and not as easy to come by as the Hagwons, which are really abundant.
Okay. What type of benefits should people look for?
Yeah, definitely. One thing that helped me was they had a school lunch program, and how that worked was I think you paid $30 a month, just a dollar a day, and you got to eat the same lunch that the students had. And it's not like school lunch in the States where it's the sloppy Joe and the French fries. You actually get a pretty decent square meal just for a dollar. And I would say 3 out of 5 days you get a really good dish, and 2 out of 5 they're still okay.
Okay, right on. So you said that starting salary is around $2,000. Do you think this is enough money, and what type of lifestyle can you live?
Yeah, it's more than enough money just to get by. I personally spent about $1,000 a month, and that was the lifestyle. Going out on the weekends, maybe Friday and Saturday night, and maybe some drinks at the bar, going out to barbecue and having dinner with friends, and the nights usually end up at a noraebang or a song karaoke room that they have there, and all in all, you live really comfortably, really well. You're never wanting for food or paying your rent or anything. So 2,000, you should spend about 1,000, and then I think you can save 1,000 with a moderate lifestyle.
How about traveling? Were you able to travel on this type of money?
Yeah, it's possible. Unfortunately, I only had 2 weeks off, and I didn't go anywhere abroad. I wanted to see a little bit of Korea. So 1 week I went down to Busan in the south, and another week I went to Gyeongju, another cultural center. So you could do that easily. The train system and the bus system in Korea is excellent. It's very fast and easy to get anywhere in the country. But going abroad, if you've only got the 2 weeks, it's probably maybe not your best option to do that. Maybe wait until the end of your contract and then do it after you've finished up with Korea.
And where were you based?
So there's a town called Anyang, which is about 20 miles or 30 kilometers south of Seoul, and it's in the greater Seoul area where you could say about half the Korean population lives just within the greater Seoul area. I think it's something like 20 million people. So it's close to the heart of the country, and you can get into Seoul and the various areas quite easily from any of the train lines or bus lines in about 30 minutes, depending on traffic.
Okay, what month did you move there?
Yeah, I got there. It was the end of February, and I was coming from Florida, so it was quite a shock. It was extremely cold. A complete 180 from where I was. So I got there in February, and I finished in February, and I kind of went through the Korean 4 Korean seasons there.
So what was that like?
Yeah, Korean winters are very cold. The summers are very hot. The nice weather's at spring and then fall. You get kind of like the cherry blossoms, like in Japan in spring and autumn. It's just a nice steady climb. It's really hot in the summer, and you just get this nice drop off into winter. But for me, being a Floridian, the winters are pretty brutal. It gets well below zero, to where even with a big coat and gloves and everything, you're still miserably cold.
Right. So how would you recommend someone pack if they're moving there during the winter?
Yeah, you definitely want to bring a lot of warm clothes. One thing to consider with Korea is that the sizes are different. I'm a pretty skinny guy. I usually wear medium shirts in the U.S. And if I go to Korea and I get a medium shirt, I'm just sticking out of the thing. It doesn't fit me. So get clothes in your size for winter. I mean, good like a peat coat, something wool that'll keep off the snow, and if it rains, gloves, a hat, lots of layers. That's one key right there. And it can be hard to find clothes in your size if you're a little bigger than a Korean would be.
Yes, you bring up a good point. Are there any other things that might be difficult to find in Korea that you recommend people bring?
Yeah, the Koreans aren't. They don't have a lot of facial hair, I guess, so it's hard to get razors. So I brought from Costco. I brought like a big 14-pack of like Gillette razors, and that lasted me through the whole year. You can get most things though if you find a Costco, and those are in the big populated areas like Seoul and Busan. You could get most U.S. products there, but at your everyday stores, it's a little harder to find the razors. Maybe deodorant would be another thing. They have it, but not as many options. So those two things in particular. For the guys, maybe you might want to think about bringing your own condoms. It's hard to find what you need there. They're a little different, so you might want to bring those.
Let's switch gears a little bit. Let me ask you about safety. How safe is it there, and did you feel safe on a personal level?
Yeah, I felt extremely safe. One story, actually, a friend of mine left his laptop at it was a KFC, I think, and he forgot about it, and we realized 2 hours that he had forgotten it. And so he went back to KFC 2 hours later asking if they had his laptop, and they said, yes, but there's a problem. Your laptop wasn't charged, so we charged it for you. And then they gave him his fully charged laptop, and he was just mesmerized by it. Yeah, very safe, very honest people. I don't think, as a guy, you don't have to worry about anything. Maybe as a girl, think things would be different, but the Koreans and Korea is like very safe and stable, I would say.
Awesome. Well, tell us, how did you meet people?
Yeah, so most of the people I knew were coworkers of mine.
Sure.
I knew a few other people that were teaching in Korea, and I was able to meet up with them in their various areas. So at my work, we had, let's say, maybe 50 teachers in total, and we would do events like go to movies, and then that was paid for by the Hagwon, in fact. And at those kind of gatherings, it's really easy to meet other expats.
Okay, cool. What did you do for fun?
Yeah, the main routine would be like Friday night. We start off with a barbecue. You go and you have this Korean style barbecue. They've got a nice open flame there right at your table. You grill your own meat. They bring out drinks and whatnot, and you kind of start off the evening there. Maybe move on to a bar, and then like at the end of the night, you end up at one of those song rooms I mentioned before, where you end up singing. You can bring in your own drinks, and it's totally fine. So those things. Another thing was studying Korean. I did that twice a week at like a language exchange. So those are pretty easy to find on like Facebook, or you can just ask around. And I would teach or help a Korean with their English, and they would help me with my Korean, and we'd do that for maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours. And that was fun for me, just to get some one-on-one private language practice there.
So did you offer your services for free and expect it in
Yeah.
return for free?
Yeah, just quid pro quo. You teach them and they teach you, and it's a good way to kind of assimilate yourself into Korea a little bit. You can get to see and do things that the Koreans know about, because it's hard to know some of these things and find some of these restaurants as an expat. They aren't advertised or
Sure.
clearly labeled. You walk into this building and you go down to the second basement, and then it doesn't look like anything's there, but then there's this amazing restaurant that only the Koreans know about. So it really helps to kind of get some Korean friends and have them show you around.
Is it necessary to know Korean or learn Korean?
I knew people that didn't know a word there, and they were there for years, and they managed to get by. For me, I just was interested in the language and getting to practice it. So I wouldn't say it's necessary, but it definitely would be beneficial. One time I had to tell a taxi driver in my limited Korean I needed to go back to the hotel to get my phone, and I knew these words, and I would just use a lot of hand language.
Put
with
it
my
together.
limited vocabulary. Yeah, and they definitely will be patient with you if you try.
All right, nice. Well, let's finish up here. What are some of the pros and cons of living in Korea?
Yeah, the pros, you've got a safe, comfortable, very easy life there. I mean, like I said, they kind of walk you through the whole process, getting your visa, getting your apartment, your alien resident card. Your workload's quite light, so you're not overworked or anything. The people are very nice. They're very, very friendly. It's very safe, as I said. I think it's a good place for someone to get their, to cut their teeth in ESL abroad, just because it's an easy place to get started. And then maybe for some of the cons, I mentioned the weather. It have extreme seasons. Yeah, just really cold winters, really hot summers. Maybe another con, some of the Hagwons, you don't have a lot of vacation. I had a 1-year contract. I only had 2 weeks, and I think maybe like 5 sick days. And I've heard of some places even having, like 3 sick days. And then if you're sick, you need that doctor's note, and they might even come to your apartment. Are you sick? Are you sick? Because, in Korean culture, you rarely will call in sick to work. You want to show up with the mask on and show everyone how, tough and committed you are to the job. So those would be some of the cons for being in Korea.
Cool. Well, Dave, listen, we really appreciate you taking the time to meet with us, and we wish you the best in the future.
Yeah, thanks a lot. It's good to be here.
Cheers.